What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and it has been a long week, so as always we got a lot of wrestling news to round up, and we are here to discuss all those latest rumors and reports, a lot of ridiculous and some backstage news for the recent WWE releases, what is taking priority over Roman Reigns right now, 3 things that SmackDown did good this week, and more. So you guys know what to do. Hit an elbow drop on that like button, turn on those notifications not only for the latest wrestling news, but also all the latest WWE 2K22 news. And if you want even more wrestling videos, check out the second channel. Starting off with the latest in regards to all of the releases that ended up happening this week. As we discussed, one of the main reasons for WWE firing so many wrestlers was due to quote-unquote budget cuts, which obviously sounds ridiculous considering how much money they have made over the last 4 quarters. There's even more unfortunate news because the Wrestling Observer Radio is indicating that there could be more WWE releases coming, more specifically from the NXT brand, and there might already be some that we just don't know about. To make things worse in regards to these releases, it looks like WWE lied to some superstars about being safe from release or not. According to Fightful, multiple superstars ended up learning about the releases months ago, and they were worried about getting cut from the roster, leading to multiple people among the cuts asking about whether they will be released or not, in which they were told by WWE officials that they will be fine. That of course turned out to not be the case. Another wrestler reportedly summed up the situation by indicating that this is just an annual reminder that this is a company and not a family. Someone who is really frustrated about the whole situation and can't wait to talk about it when he is able to after the 90 days non-compete clause is former tag team member of Heavy Machinery, Tucker. He posted a couple of tweets already, not giving away too much information because again, he is still technically on the contract. He also posted an image of him and Otis, teasing that again he cannot wait to tell the story of his tag team breakup. One of the fans went on to ask what was the reason for WWE to break up Heavy Machinery, which Tucker furiously replied, to put it nicely, who the hell knows? Another fan said that we are just not allowed to have nice things or have fun apparently within the sport or with storylines. It's baffling, which Tucker indicated, not with a certain old man in charge, of course referring to Vince McMahon. Things are certainly going to be interesting once all of these released superstars are able to talk about what happened. Here's something even more baffling. Fightful is indicating that Kevin Dunn quote-unquote didn't get Billie Kay and her character, and he made sure to say that he saw a ceiling for her, although Fightful did made it clear that they are unsure whether this had anything to do with WWE firing her. Regardless, it is absolutely ridiculous. You gave Billie Kay nothing but a blank piece of paper on SmackDown for 2 to 3 months after breaking her up after she was a successful tag team and one of the only real tag teams that you had in that women's division. And what did she do with that blank piece of paper? She literally gets over. Even if it was 1 minute in a backstage segment, she played it out so well that we wanted to see more. It was hilarious. At some time when she was ignored, it was sad, and we were all just invested to see what was gonna happen next. Is somebody gonna listen to her? Is she gonna be able to find a brand new tag team partner? And so on. She arguably has more charisma than anybody in the women's division. So a top WWE officials like Kevin Dunn saying something like this, it's ridiculous. He's supposed to be watching the monitors, right, and giving us 400 camera cuts in a span of 1 minute. So how can you not see how entertaining she is and then say that there's a ceiling for her? I felt like there was no ceiling for her. She was just gonna keep going up. This report is just frustrating, so let's go ahead and move on. Onto something very interesting. WWE no longer views Roman Reigns' program as a top story on SmackDown because something else is taking that #1 spot. According to Sports Illustrated, the internal reaction behind Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks' WrestleMania match was so great that it is now the top program for the Blue brand. This puts Roman Reigns' current storyline as Universal Champion in second place. Close to second as they indicated, because again that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair is the single biggest narrative for WWE right now. I wish this was also the case heading into WrestleMania, because let's be honest, that feud didn't have anything exciting to it. Unfortunately, WWE decided to go with the coexist storyline, which we've seen a million times, instead of focusing on each individually. But regardless, the match at WrestleMania was awesome. It was a great main event for night one, and I'm really excited to see it develop from here on. So I'm glad that they're going to continue all of this, and hopefully now they really make it a good feud, a storyline that is worthy of an amazing match, which we know they are going to be giving us. Onto some quick news. According to Sports Illustrated, they're also indicating that WWE is planning to hold SummerSlam in front of a large crowd, much like they did for WrestleMania. In the meantime, kinda expect everything else to continue being in the Thunderdome, although WWE does have their sights set for the end of the summer for a possible return to some form of normalcy, even potentially doing some live events. But again, that all depends on how things are going in a couple of months from now. That's what went down on this week's SmackDown. Let's go ahead and talk about 3 things that I think WWE did right, and the rest of the highlights for the show. First thing, that has to be continuing the momentum of Cesaro and putting him face to face with Roman Reigns already. Roman Reigns came out to start the show, letting us know that he did exactly what he was gonna do at WrestleMania, stacking Edge and Daniel Bryan and making them acknowledge him. Then we had Cesaro coming out all suit up, getting in the face of Roman Reigns, which simply led to Roman Reigns leaving without saying a word. But this already sets up that massive matchup, which is great. The second good thing was giving us a celebration for Bianca Belair's WWE SmackDown Women's Championship victory from WrestleMania, and having the Street Profit there, more specifically her husband Montez Ford. This made the victory more genuine, it was more emotional, more significant, so props to WWE for doing this. I am also excited about the fact that they are going to continue this feud with her and Sasha Banks. We didn't get much of it this week, except that Sasha Banks is obviously pissed off for losing at WrestleMania, and now she looks like she is about to get dangerous and gonna try to do everything to get that title. The next big highlight is continuing Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. These two will always give us the match of the night every time that you put them together. A bit unfortunate that the match ended in a countdown, but it is a way to continue this feud. At WrestleMania Backlash, they probably gonna go at it once again, and it's gonna be a banger of a match. For what else ended up happening in the night, we had Rey Mysterio defeating Otis, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode defeating the Street Profit in another SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, Natalya defeated Shayna Baszler, and in the main event, Cesaro defeated Jey Uso, but by disqualification due to the interference and the attack of Seth Rollins, who seems to not be done with Cesaro just yet. Again, putting a heavy focus on Cesaro, which is great. Anyways guys, that is all the latest WWE news and rumors. If you enjoy or found it informative, don't forget to elbow drop it and hit those notifications. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.